It's time to edit some photos. Today, I am going to walk you through 10 easy-to-use Canva tips and tricks for creating the perfect image. If you have a photograph and you want to make edits to specific elements of that photo, you can do so under the Adjust tab. Canva is always going to default to adjusting the entire image. But by clicking on the drop-down, you can select the foreground or the background. By clicking here on foreground, I am isolating the little girl in this image. If I want to go ahead and make her and just her black and white, I could scroll down to color and adjust this tab to a -100. Same with saturation. You can see that we quickly made the foreground of this image black and white without adjusting the color of the background. If I go ahead and click undo, I can do the opposite by isolating the background. I can then make the background of this image black and white and keep the little girl in color. If you want to animate your photograph, you have some options. Start by clicking on Animate. My favorite is the Photo Zoom feature. This allows you to take an image and bring it to life. Here, I want to start by having my image large, and then zoom in closer and closer to the front of the house. After selecting Photo Zoom, I want to go ahead and select In. I can then adjust the scale to my desired level of zoom. When you save this image, the animation will save with it. The other photo movement options you have under the Animate tab include Photo Flow. This will allow you to have your image float downwards, and the Photo Rise feature will have your image rise up. With a Pro subscription, you can also have your image move left or right. This is my favorite feature in Canva photo editing, the Magic Eraser. It does require a Canva Pro subscription, but for this feature alone, it's well worth it. If you have something in your photograph that you'd like to be removed, in this instance, this gentleman's head here in the ocean, you can use the Magic Eraser to very quickly remove it. You simply use the brush and drag it along the part of the image that you would like to be removed. Depending on how dark the area is that you want to be erased, it might take more than one pass. In this case, since this head's a little bit darker, it might take 2 or 3 passes. Here you can see there's just one small dark spot remaining, so I'll use my brush to drag over it, and we should have a perfectly good shot. There you go. A much better framed picture. If you want to blur the background of an image, it's logical to think just click on the blur button. However, the biggest tip I can give you when wanting to blur the background of an image is to skip the blur button and click on autofocus. Let me show you the difference. If you click on blur, it's going to automatically blur the entirety of the image. However, if you remove the blur and go back and select autofocus, it will automatically blur just the background of your image to make the focal point pop. You can then adjust the blur intensity to get the image to be exactly how you want. Once you have your desired template chosen, you can then go ahead and upload your photographs. On the left-hand side of the screen, click on Uploads, and then Upload Files. One of the great features of Canva is it allows you to upload multiple images at one time, which can save you a lot of clicking. Once all your photographs are uploaded, it's as simple as dragging and dropping them into the pre-selected boxes on the collage. Canva will automatically readjust the image in order to fit in the frame. Once you have all of your photographs inserted, if you're happy with it, you're done. Or if you want to make any changes to the placement, simply click on the image and you can move it around. Done! Now you can go back to editing the rest of your photos, and everyone has a great sneak peek at what you've been up to. Another great feature of Canva Pro is the one-click background remover. Simply select your photograph and click on Edit Photo, and then look for the beach ball. That's the background remover. And with one easy click, your background is gone. You can then easily add another background onto your image by clicking on Elements on the left-hand side. You can search for a recently used image or any type of background you're looking for. And again, with another click, a right click, Set Image as Background, you have a new background for your photo and an almost unlimited amount to choose from. This next tip can be a lot of fun if you're looking to play around with different colors in your photograph, specifically isolating a specific color and then changing it. Let's take a look. Clicking on the Adjust button and scrolling all the way down to the bottom, Canva will automatically detect the primary colors in your photograph. You can then select what you want to change. In this case, let's go ahead and change the color of my blouse from a blue one to a red one. I select the color that I want to isolate, and you can then play around with the hue. For example, I can go down to a deep green or scroll across here to my desired red color. A big trend right now on social media is inserting photographs into letters and numbers. Let's take a quick look on how to do that. First, I'm going to delete my current image and frame and go back to the Elements tab and search for number frames. There's different styles for each number, or you can edit them and create your own. Once you find one that you like, you can simply drag and drop it onto the page and adjust however way you want. You can then go back to your photographs and simply drag and drop into the number. Pretty simple. As we have been exploring in Photo Editor today, you may have noticed this Mockups button. If you've ever wanted to know what your image might look like on a mobile phone or a water bottle or even a tote bag, this is where you can easily insert your image in a desired template. This works really well if you want to see what a company logo might look like. Let's say I want to see what my company logo might look like on this woman's t-shirt. I can drag this template across my page, going to the Upload section, and drag and drop my company logo directly onto her t-shirt. This can work for any type of image. Likewise, let's say I took a group photo and I want to jazz it up a little bit for my presentation. I can go ahead and delete this image, go back to Edit Photo and Mockups. Here, I can look at some of the more popular images, and I'll select this gentleman here with his computer. I'll drag it across my canvas and make it my desired size. Under the Uploads, I'm then going to drag and drop my group photo that I want to display in a slightly more appealing manner. There you go, a mock-up. This last trick is called Magic Edit. It's currently in beta, but it's amazing. If you want to erase something from a photo and replace it with another object instead, or add new objects to your photograph like they've always been there, now you can. First, brush over the area that you want to edit. In this case, I want to add a Christmas tree to the corner of my photograph, just to make it pop a little bit more for the holidays. Once you've selected the area that you want to edit, click Continue, and simply describe what you want Canva to do. In this case, adding a Christmas tree. And then watch the magic unfold. Remember that this feature is still in beta, and sometimes it can be a little glitchy. When it generates the changes that you requested, it's going to give you a few options to select from. If you don't like any of these, you can always go ahead and click Generate New Results. And it will give you some more options for you to select from. Once you're happy with how your new image looks, select Done. Now you've added something to your image with magic. I hope those tips and tricks were helpful. Please consider subscribing to our channel for more tips and tricks.